Good evening, I'm Mutations. I'm going to be giving you a roundup of everything that's going on in the world in 10 minutes. So, this is news without opinion. Let's get started. This is the first piece of information that you need to know. The Supreme Court has granted interim protection from arrest to Amazon Prime's creative head Aparna Purohit over allegedly hurting religious sentiments by the web series Tandem on Friday. Now, the protection from arrest will be subject to the petitioner cooperating with the investigation and appearing before the police as and when summoned. And this is according to a report by Live Law. Live Law has also reported that the Supreme Court on Thursday expressed the need for screening the content aired on over the top platforms or OTT platforms, as they call, such as Amazon and Netflix, and asked the center to submit new regulations for the same. Moving on, the Supreme Court has expressed dissatisfaction about the rules framed by the Center under the Information Technology Act to regulate OTT platforms. Now, a Live Law report says, the court said, and I'm quoting the report, it says, these rules don't have any teeth. There's no provision for prosecution or fine. They're only just guidelines. Now, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta has now agreed to present a draft legislation in court in the next 2 weeks. Also in the news, this is important for students. The dates for Class 12 Physics paper and Applied Physics of CBSE have been shifted from the 13th of May to the 1st of June. Now, the dates for History and Banking papers have also been revised. Board exams will be held from the 4th of May to the 1st of June. Class 10 Mathematics paper has been postponed to the 2nd of June from the 21st of May. On to news on coronavirus. Now, while speaking at a World Bank panel, Serum Institute of India CEO Adar Poonawalla has said that the US decision to block export of raw materials, including bags and filters, will hamper global vaccination efforts. Now, he said, and I quote, the Novavax vaccine, which we're a major manufacturer for, needs these items from the US. If we're talking about building capacity all over the world, the sharing of these critical raw materials is going to become a critical limiting factor. Nobody has been able to address this so far, unquote. Also in the news, Bengaluru COVID samples show 11 mutations each. Now, in a worrying news that's coming in from Bengaluru, IISc scientists who conducted a study on samples from consenting patients in Bengaluru suggest that the virus is now mutating faster than before. According to the reports, the three Bengaluru isolates had 27 mutations in their genomes, with more than 11 mutations per sample. There's also a report by UNICEF that has now said that 1.5 million schools in India were shut in 2020, affecting 247 million children enrolled in elementary and secondary schools. Worldwide, 888 million children were affected due to the pandemic, according to this report. The report also says that pre-COVID, only 24% of households in India had internet access, indicating that online education was not, in fact, feasible or even accessible. Moving on to business news now, several corporations will be covering vaccination costs for employees. Now, these are the list of companies that will be doing so. Infosys, Accenture, Reliance, Capgemini, and Mahindra and ITC have announced that they will cover the costs of vaccination for their employees. Now, Accenture has said that costs for employees and dependents who are eligible and choose to receive vaccination will also be covered. Government's vaccination campaign, if you remember, started and in fact ramped up on the 1st of March with people above the age of 60 and individuals above the age of 45 with comorbidities were now eligible for vaccination shots. Moving on to international news. In the latest clip from Oprah Winfrey's upcoming interview with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex has now said that Buckingham Palace could not expect her and Prince Harry to be silent if it was, I'm quoting, perpetuating falsehoods about us. Meghan also said, and I quote, if that comes with risk of losing things, I mean, there is a lot that has been lost already, end quote. Now, the new clip comes after reports have said that the palace is investigating claims that the Duchess bullied royal staff. Also in the news, the House of Representatives passed the George Floyd Justice in Policing Act with a 220 to 212 vote, with two Democrats voting against it and one Republican voting for it. A similar version of the bill, which initially passed the House last summer, had never been passed in the Senate. Now, the legislation would ban effectively chokeholds and racial or religious profiling, establish a database to track police misconduct, and prohibit certain no-knock warrants. And in news that should worry all of us, according to the UN's Environmental Programme's Food Waste Index, 900 million tons of food is wasted globally every year. Approximately 17% of food available to consumers every year goes directly to bins, and with households accounting for 60% of this waste. Countries like the UK have reduced waste amid lockdown owing to better meal and shopping planning. And news on science and technology now. China's Global Times has reported that China is using emotion recognition technology to ramp up its surveillance efforts. The technology tracks traits such as facial muscle movements, vocal tone, and body movements to infer a person's feelings. Now, Chinese experts told the Daily Tabloid that the new technology being used in health, anti-terrorism, and urban security is 95% accurate. On to news from the world of sports now. James Anderson has become the first England bowler to take 900 wickets across formats in international cricket. Now, the 38-year-old achieved the feat after dismissing Ajinkya Rahane on the second day of the fourth test in Ahmedabad. Overall, he is the sixth bowler to take 900 international wickets. Also in the news, Indian wicketkeeper Rishabh Pant on Friday smashed his first international 100 in India after reaching the three-figure mark with a six on his 115th delivery in the first innings of the fourth test against England. This is Pant's third test century. In other news, the ongoing season of Pakistan Super League 2021, which had started on the 20th of February, has been postponed with immediate effect after 7 positive COVID cases were detected in the tournament. As the Pakistan Cricket Board added that it would provide vaccines to the teams. And on to our daily dose of positive news. Now, the Health Ministry has said on Friday that the number of COVID vaccine doses has crossed 1.8 crore mark. Nearly 14 lakh vaccine doses were given on Thursday, which is the 48th day of the vaccination drive. Now, the ministry also said that 10.56 lakh beneficiaries were vaccinated across over 16,000 sessions for the first dose, and 3.3 lakh healthcare workers and frontline workers received the second dose. Also in the news, according to QS World University Ranking 2021, 7 engineering colleges in India have been listed in the world's top 200. Now, IIT-Bombay has marked its spot as the best institute in the country, while globally it secured 49th rank. IIT Delhi, in the meantime, was on the 54th position. That's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching.